Alright, I'm going to be going through every channel of the amp, just showing you what differentiates it from the other Ecstasy. Using a Vic guitar with juggernauts from bare knuckle pickups, just so you know what to expect pickup wise. I'm going to spend a little bit of time clean, not too much, just because I don't think that's the main differentiator of this amp compared to the original Ecstasy. But yeah, here goes just bridge pickup stock right up the middle on the Again, nothing too crazy. Gonna go back to bridge pickup, add in the boost for this channel. Just dig in a little bit, you get almost towards lead sounds. Alright, again, nothing too special. I can set this up a little more for more pure clean. This has slight amounts of gain, but that's not the real reason why I'm showing this amp anyway, to be honest. But let's go to channel 2. I'm going to be using channel 2 with all the settings up the middle. Don't expect too much gain out of this or channel 3 off the rip, because I'm going to be boosting a lot of the gain through other settings and the boosts. So right here we just have channel 2, the blue channel, everything at 12 o'clock. Again, somewhere in the crunch territory, nothing too crazy on that. I'll show you the neck pickup. Not really how I would use it with these settings. Decent sound. Let's add the boost on channel 2. Again, bridge pickup. Again, we're getting there. Definitely a bit of a push, crunchy, boosted sound. Not really a tight bottom end, but that's not what this channel is for. I still think we can clear out some of the lows and open up the highs and mids a bit. I think that will give a better sound overall. So I'm just going to lower the bass a bit, increase the highs and the mids. That definitely EQ wise good. There's a pretty cool switch that only affects this channel. There's also one for channel 3, the pre-EQ switch. Right now it's up the middle. Again, it'll sound like this. If I put it on boost 1, or sorry, bright 1, you get something like this. I like that. This adds a little bit more, almost like a jangly, Marshall-y kind of sound. Bright 2 is also an option. Personally, I think this adds more low-ending gain than I would use this channel for, but unboosted, you can still hear it. Definitely a good sound. I personally like a little bit thinner lows and a lot of highs because then I can add more gain and it doesn't get muddy. So I'm going to go to bright 1. Again, for a channel that's not the high gain channel, has a good amount of gain. We'll get back into the settings that are universal across the red and blue channels, but for now I'm going to go to the red channel. Again, everything right now is about at noon. Again, for a high gain channel, it doesn't seem like it has a lot of gain, but that's because most of the gain is hidden in settings. Here's it boosted. Much like channel 2, there's the bright modes. I'm going to start with bright 1, which is my favorite. I'm going to unboost it so you can hear what it does. Okay, definitely adds a lot of brightness. It's going to need some more gain to get into the chuggy stuff, especially because it clears out some of the lows. I'll put it on bright 2. Here you go. And again, boosted. I'm going to stick to bright 1 for this channel. It's a little more what I prefer, especially as we start adding in more gain. Alright, so the original Ecstasy has 2 different presence knobs that are switchable by channel. Just give me 1 second. Alright, anyhow, the presence has 3 different modes here instead, but it's all one channel. I'm going to put the presence a little higher just so you can hear the difference. It accentuates it more. This is presence up the middle, on the middle. Put it on maybe 130. Getting a little high, it's nothing crazy. I'm going to put it in mode M. There's also mode SB. We have over here. back to it. I'm going to put it on M just for get overwhelming with some of the other settings. Same thing with the depth knob. This is the same thing as the resonance. It's a power up controlled setting. I'm going to put it up higher than I usually would, just so you can hear the difference again to accentuate it, and then I'll play with it. That's a fuck ton of bass. I'm not sure how much coming through for you, but like it's literally shaking over here. This is on the middle sound. And big, which is even more. I'm gonna put big now with the depth a little below noon. I'm gonna stick to M. It's a little less muddy. Alright, now definitely a good mix of like low and thump, but also some clarity at the high. Really good string separation. Alright, the next mode is the schizo mode. Fun fact, they misspelled the word schizo on my amp, of course. No comment. Anyhow, this is with everything stock. Again, this is boosted. I'm going to unboost channel 3, just so you can hear the effect a little more. The first mode I'm going to switch to is from 101 to classic. Adds a little gain. Now I'm going to go to TF, which is for top fuel. Even more gain. You might hear a little bit more of the noise coming through just from the amount of gain. Back to channel 2 so you can hear what it sounds like with all these different settings we've been putting on. Again, this is without the boost. A nice, good, crunchy sound. Adding the boost and it really starts to sing. Pick up for like the real singing leads that all the boomers. Again, if you dig in, you really get some nice harmonics being added. Again, this is the note straight. Alright, there's one more switch on the front that's of note. Right here we have the input switch. Reinhold Bogner says to keep it in classic for humbuckers, put on 101 mode for the single coils, but I'll show you just the difference between them. see. I think I just prefer the classic. It has a little more clarity on the highs, which the single coils obviously would already have, as well as a little more just a clear tone with distortion. Again, you play a chord and there's two more switches of note on the back that have a pretty massive difference sonically. I took a picture on my phone just because I honestly can't remember what they are. So the first one affects both channels 2 and 3. And this is the switch between Vintage, what I'm on right now, Classic, and 101. So this is Vintage. Again, channel 2 boosted. I'll go to channel 3 unboosted. Those are my two main settings. That's channel 2. Unboosted channel 3. Channel 3 boosted. So let's stick with both boosted just for now, so I don't have to keep on switching back and forth. But that gives you a good sound of what we're dealing with before we hit the back. So first, we're going to go to the 101 mode, I believe. Just confirming. Yeah, so 101 mode. We'll be taking the switch slightly closer to the right of the back of the amp and pushing it first to 101 mode. It adds a lot of brightness, which is why I like to use the channel off, because it adds enough gain that I think it's worth using. Truth be told, I think it can get a bit harsh on the highs, honestly, but let me show you the other mode on this switch we have not used yet. Yeah, on channel 3 unboosted. Channel 3 boosted. And channel 2 boosted. I like that. Adds a little more gain, a little more brightness. It's my preferred setting. And now there's one more switch that only affects channel 3. And so I make sure I get this one right. This one has modes called 101, 100, and byte. Right now I've been on 100, which is default. Let me put it on 101 first, and then I'll put it on byte. These add a fuck ton of gain and high end. Truth be told, a little too much in my opinion, but that's just me. Yeah, so this is the first. The amount of gain it adds and highs, I like to keep the boost off on channel 3 if I'm using this. And we'll show you the one other mode on this. It goes even further. Again, I don't think I would use this switch mostly, so this is even more than I would use by a larger amount. So here we have again. Channel 3 boosted. I think it does too much gain, especially boost. Without a boost, it's nice, but I like using this switch just stock. So I'm gonna put it back and then I'll start showing you how I like to use this amp and then switch guitars. So this is the typical sound I would go for. Again, channel 2 boosted. Without the boost, it sounds like this. Back to boosted again. Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's full on gent, but definitely has some chug to it. Retains a little more of the lows, a little bit more of like a thicker sound, the blue channel sound. I wouldn't use this more for like the really chuggy heavy stuff, but for this type of prog I do where it doesn't need necessarily so much gain, and you want to have some thickness for the leads, this is a really nice voice. Channel 3, again, without the boost is how I usually would use it. But with the boost, it would sound like this. Honestly, with the boost, it's not too much gain. It's a bit more than I would use, but yeah. And show you the versatility of this amp. Again, this is without the boost, but I'm sure. And if you roll down the volume a bit. You get to more of like a jangly, not super overdriven sound again. And one last boosted channel 3 just for the. Good amount of gain, a lot of string clarity, a lot of punch. For a boosted highest gain channel, I'm a fan of it. Gonna mute my sound really quickly and switch guitars. First, I will start with my 7-string. This is not gonna sound exactly right, only because of how you would want to EQ 7s compared to 6s. You'd probably want less gain. I'm certainly not going to be using boosted channel 3. And I would probably also roll down the bass and add some mids. But yeah, here you go. Start with boosted channel, sorry, regular channel 2. Definitely need the boost to really make sense for chuggy stuff on channel 2. And just to channel 3. And boosted channel 3. Again, for something that wasn't EQ'd specifically for a 7-string guitar, I'm a fan. And I'll just show you with Fishman's. This guitar I'm using has Fishman Classic, so it's definitely more of a bright sound and a bit higher amounts of gain than the bare knuckles. So it's probably going to sound a little harsh. I might want to EQ it down just a bit. But let's start with channel 2, unboosted. And channel 2 boosted. Alright, channel 3 unboosted. And channel 3 boosted. And just boosted channel 2 once more. think that's about every sound I can get out of it without major adjustments to the EQ. Yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know if you want to see videos like this on the other amps. Right now I have a Red 7 Leviathan and a Wizard MC2 with the KT88s, as well as an Uber Ultra coming in the next month or so. Yeah, thanks for watching.